Hola, Hispanic Patriots. I guess you can say we're about to get medieval on all of y'all. Hola, Hispanic Patriots. Welcome back to Hispanic Patriot Plays, where I show you all how what kind of games I used to grow up on. And here, you're joining me for Medieval 2 Total War. This is going to be kind of a teaser to a big series we're going to do for you guys, Donald Trump in medieval times. But before we get to that, we have a special anniversary coming up this weekend. It will be the 3rd year of the war in Ukraine. And given that it's very topical right now, we thought that we would do something for it. So, what we have for you today is the grand campaign of Medieval 2 Total War, and as you can see, we have all these countries we can do. At some point for Hispanic Patriot, we will do Spain, Spanish countries, Hispanic countries, and numerous different games and playthroughs throughout our time. But today, we are choosing Russia, which is a very... I'm gonna go through with you guys to kind of deconstruct the meaning and narratives of Russia, but today we are what I will be calling, perhaps to the chagrin of many, the Ukrainian Rus. The Ukrainian Rus. And I will explain to you guys as we go along the history and, yeah, what we'll be experiencing today. What an amazing start, everybody. Let's get right into it. So, I am a bit of a seasoned player on this, so I'm not going to have a good time unless we put it on hard difficulty. We'll put on regular hard for the campaign. Battle, very hard. I'm not going to pull any punches there. Let's manage everything. And, yeah, let's see, short or long campaign? We're going to go for long, because otherwise we have to eliminate Poland and Hungary. We're going to try to have those guys be our main allies, so let's go into it. Just tell a little bit of history here. The history is so complex, I actually have it written down here on a note.
Russia faces invasion by nomadic tribes and foreign conquerors. Its harsh landscape has given rise to a steadfast people, and their devotion has led them to great deeds.
Don't y'all just love the medieval times, knights in shining armor? It's so much of actually where our conservative traditions come from. You guys are going to really enjoy this. We're going to have a lot to talk about. What you're seeing on screen, charging cavalry against halberdiers, probably not what you want to do, actually.
To survive, the Russians must fend off wild adversaries. To become an empire, they require a leader who will steal the kingdom and make its borders impenetrable.
You can see, guys, that Russia's ambitions have not really changed in 1,000 years, and we will be discussing it through the chapters of history. That'll be quite exciting. We're gonna have little quotes that come up. To carry on war, 3 things are necessary: money, money, and yet more money. Again, all this will be very applicable to all the things that we are currently finding topical. So here we are at the Kingdom of Novgorod. So this is where I have to kind of explain the history, because the game here does not present the history correctly at all, actually. It's mostly for gameplay purposes. You can imagine if Poland is starting off here-ish and Hungary here-ish, that starting off here would be just insanely more difficult than it needs to be. So they played around with the history a little bit. In Medieval 2 Total War, they definitely did that a little bit. But the family, that's all pretty decent, actually. Miroslav, actually, never mind. Some of these people are real, some of them are not. But Grand Duke, let's see. Yes, Volod. Volod? Let's just call him Volodymyr, just to tick people off. Because his son is Vladimir, so we got Volodymyr and Vladimir. I promise Ukrainians and Russians, I will try to get these pronunciations right as best I can. I am Polish, so maybe there's part of me in my blood that's just refusing to pronounce it all right. But, so, the family line, Yesivolod here, it was actually the Grand Prince of Kyiv. He should be in Kyiv at this time. Novgorod, actually, at this time, was ruled by this guy's brother, Sviatopolk. Actually, Sviatopolk is actually the guy who will become the Grand Prince of Kiev after Yesvolod here. It is not going to be his son, Vladimir. It wasn't quite a, a son inherits everything quite kingdom. And actually, anyone who listened to Vladimir Putin's insane historical rant with Tucker Carlson will know that, actually will be happy to know, or be interested to know, who knows what you'll feel, that Yesvolod here is actually the son of Yaroslav the Wise, the gentleman that was brought up several times by Vladimir Putin as sort of the father of the Rus, and he really is father of the Rus. So we are playing the literal son of the father of the Rus right here. His son being actually the child of, like you saw in the intro, a Greek princess, Byzantine princess, who I'm fairly certain was a Komneni, of the Komnenos family, which I could be wrong about that, but for all, those of you who know your medieval history, those guys are very important, the Komnenoses. So there's a number of other territories around here that we will be trying to take over as Rurikid princes, and one of them is Ryazan, which is actually ruled by a rival, the son of Yesvolod's brother, who was the Tsar. It's a whole big thing. There was some succession crises going on. Most of it is solved by this time in history stated 1080. So David is, or Yevid, however, in Russian, Russo-Ukrainian, Ukrainian, we're going to get to that. He is presently some prince around here-ish, and Moscow, like I said, is a literal dirt pile that hasn't been founded yet. So, at this time, actually, the son of Vladimir, or the son of Yesvolod, Vladimir, he actually rules in a city called Smolensk, which will actually be our first target. It's somewhere here about. We're gonna send our spy over here. Let's see. A first action, the first obvious action that we'll have is sending our spy over here to get a lay of the land as to where exactly Smolensk is, at least on this map, relative to everything. So, as you can see, guys, if the game actually portrayed the history as it actually is, it would be this whole family ruling this whole area and a bunch of political intrigue that this game really is not set up to do. However, if you want to see all of that, watch our coming series. It will be actually Crusader Kings 2. Crusader Kings 3 a little bit complicated to stream and run and everything, and I personally find the second to be better anyways. So look out all for that. But without further ado, everybody, let's get into it. Alright, so we have the Grand Duke over here. Very angry man, apparently.
We shall not relent, ever!
Why should we? So this over here is Vilnius, and over here is Smolensk. Let's, now, we have 3 generals, governors, whatever have you. If we move them, our cities will produce less money. So we might want to keep somebody behind.
Yes.
Probably this gentleman here, Mikhail. Although Prince Vladimir is a very good governor, so we'll see how this goes. You can see right here,
orders, my lord.
We lose about 40 or so income a turn. High taxes, very, very high taxes. Something we can't be Republicans in every single situation we're in, but basically what this is that we've made the city nice enough where the city is the only city, it's the capital city. We can have higher taxes, always higher taxes at the capital city. So what is our main strategy here? Our strategy is to Kyiv in 3 days. Kyiv in 3 turns, or at least, as few turns as possible. We are going to basically take all of our forces and march south and reclaim Kyiv. We're going to try to do that in the first playthrough. Wish us luck, guys. As I said, in the real history, this guy would already be there. This would be happening. So we're going to try to set that right as fast as possible. So in this game, this is Medieval 2 Total War. This is the format that you're going to kind of see our games played in the series we have upcoming for you guys. This is going to be mainly pick a country, run it, try to do things historically, or try to forge your own path kind of things, and we really hope you like it. So, we are going to take the Grand Duke over here. We are going to
get marching! Yes.
Together with his son's army over here.
We go no further.
This is a massive army.
Not relent.
So whatever we're facing, we should be able to bring this army all the way to Kyiv without stopping.
Yes.
Yes, Lord.
As you can see, we have mainly low-quality units, early units. We're going to see this as the game goes on. We upgrade our cities, we gain more units as the game goes on in time, and eventually we get guns. So that'll be fun. But for right now, we have mostly dudes with axes, dudes with bows and arrows, some steppe nomads, and our own general's bodyguard. These guys are going to be doing the heavy lifting for us, big time, as we continue on. So we're going to have a few forces here. And one thing that I'm very much looking forward to is sending possibly Prince Vladimir, because we want to increase the size of our country as fast as possible. And I do know that over here in the Baltic, we have relatively disjointed, relatively weak tribespeople compared to our medieval kingdom. So we will try to do that. As you can see here, we have a couple of options to expand our culture, expand our kingdom. We have agents, individuals, or networks, spy networks, religious clergy, and our princess. She is going to be our main diplomat over here, actually, is what she's going to do. So what we are going to do is get her over here as fast as possible to Poland.
With pleasure.
Oh, get yourself to Poland, and we're going to make sure that we establish alliances as fast as possible. The longer you establish alliances, the more trust we have. We're going to learn from the mistakes of modern Russia rather than repeat them, and we'll discuss in a topical fashion in politics some stuff about Russia-Ukraine. So we have Radoslav over here. He's an amazing priest, amazing bishop here. The targets that we have that we want to conquer, they're mostly Orthodox as it is, at least pretty Orthodox for most of the starting factions. So you have religion here, as you can see. There's a lot to this game, so unless we want to spend the entire 30 minutes or whatever in the tutorial section, we're going to go through it and kind of give you guys little bits at a time. So here we are, we have religion here, we have heretics, pagans, Muslims, and Catholics. We're a religiously diverse country here in Russia, which is still the case. So we're going to send this guy over here, also to show us the map, but also to expand Christianity, expand our religion into this area. So what should we do first? What should we build first? So if we build up our military first, we have crossbows, which are mostly good against armored targets. But we're not really attacking armored targets right now. So what I want to do is I want to increase our money. I want to increase the amount of money we're making. So let's do land clearances first. As we can see here, this is amazing actually. Every building, everything you could develop in your country has a description. These descriptions, you could read these for hours, just soaking up the lore of humanity. This is history lore, if you think about it. We have a colorful building here where we can recruit spies from. We have town halls, churches, and it talks about the development. It talks about our historical development as people. There's Rome Total War, there's Empire 1700s Total War, and all of them have this sort of thing where you can actually see and read about historical developments. City watches being barracks, centers for soldiers and gentlemen who want to become soldiers without losing social status. The fact that you become a soldier and you're not a dreg of society, this elevates the military discipline, military tactics of the world. Land clearances, the fact that the first thing you need to do before you can establish farming is that you actually have to clear the land so that it can be farmed. Till the soil, deforest, scavenge everything you can. This is probably what we want to do first. Even on the map, you see there's areas of fertility, it says here, but yet there's no farmlands because we haven't built any farmland. So we will literally see our kingdom blossom by our work. That's the thing that real leaders enjoy, is that they see their country become prosperous, and if they must go to war, it is for the benefit of their country, not just to grind out some imperial fantasy.
Your Majesty.
Get to that. So this is the first turn here. We're not going to build any more units, I think. We will build a merchant, though, because these guys establish trade networks for foreign diplomacy, for foreign resources, foreign economics, and the further away you send them, the better they are, and they have no upkeep. So these guys are great. We're going to take this guy and send him to Timbuktu, maybe literally, you'll see, and he'll be earning us some money as he does so. So that's the first turn. We did everything we can. Everybody is moved where they can. Again, but that's the question. Do we want to build another unit here? Something else here. We have some units available. Archers are cheaper, so why don't we have an archer? We have to move out to conquer the Baltic. We'll have an archer unit ready in Novgorod. So here we go. End of turn 1, folks. We made it. Turn 1 is always the hardest. It's always the one you want to get right. Always make sure your first move is the best move. I think Putin wishes that he thought of that before invading with the kind of army I have here, actually, mostly relatively, national Rosguardia troops, essentially, and some Buryats is effectively what we got here. These aren't Buryats, they're Kazakhs, and Central Asians are different than Altaic Mongols, but we will get to all that. So here we are. We will continue to move our spy over quietly. Here. There it is, Smolensk. Spies actually have a longer line of sight. They can see further than other units. So that's awesome. We'll be able to get to Smolensk by the next turn, and we will do so. Bring them over.
You should fear us coming, my enemy. Yes, Lord.
Don't, man. Our leader is just like
with pride, Lord.
Ready to go.
I will make them fear you.
If Zelensky was more like this and less like, international order and Ukraine needs support. Maybe, Russia. Maybe does Russia really want new elections? Is Donald Trump just trying to get some harder-nosed guy into office to scare the pants off the Russians? Honestly, and we're gonna get into more topical things as we go along. We will have fun with this. I honestly believe, because a lot of people know who watch the show, that I'm a Ukraine supporter. I'll be at the state capitol this weekend if anybody wants to come and join us to visit my Ukrainian friends and support them as they are going to the state capitol to make their voices known. So a lot of people know that I support Ukraine, but I also support Donald Trump. So people would say, well, that's a contradiction now with what Trump is saying. But again, if we had elections, Your Majesty. Elections in Ukraine, people that have been at war for 3 years are not going to vote in someone that wants to be nice to those people, okay? They're probably going to vote in someone like Zaluzhny, a general, someone who's strong.
I shall ride on
someone
tomorrow,
that Trump would actually probably get along with better than Zelensky. So this whole thing about trying to force elections in Ukraine, I really don't see it benefiting Russia in literally any capacity. So let's just make that clear. Let's just talk about that as the basis for what we're doing here. So we do have our archers and our merchant. So we're gonna see how the city is.
Of course,
it's basically holding up without us being there. If we can perhaps build something like a town hall next time, then perhaps we won't have to spend money on so many of these guys here. But part of me wants to increase our army. We need to increase our forces. And also we have Helsinki up here, which is only occupied by 4 units. Riga over here, only occupied by 4 units, some of which are peasants. So poor morale, not great weapons. So we can probably go in 3 different directions here, actually expand as fast as possible. We're gonna try to do that. We are the richest faction in the game. Russia has the most money because you have 1 city. So basically, you're not gonna get any money for a long time. That money that we had at the beginning of the game, that's pretty much as much as we're probably gonna have for a while. So our treasury, I mean, we're earning like 1,050 in profit right now because our expenses. You can see what's going on right here. This is our financial overview: farming, mining, trade. We basically have our economy completely reliant on taxes and what's called the King's Purse, which is like your basic. Every country has this. It's basically your default money. And right now, we're mainly suffering from the fact that we're recruiting units and increasing. We're expanding. So if we weren't increasing units right now, we would actually be earning money, not a whole lot. So that's what's encouraging us to retake our Ruakid lands, historic Ruakid lands, historic Ukrainian Russian lands. So what am I talking about? Again, this is going to be fun explaining all of this because it makes the head of most historians explode. So you can imagine what it does to regular people. So we're going to arrive at Riga in a couple of turns. We could arrive at... so what we want Riga first is because we want cities.
Confronting the enemy.
We want more economy. We want more money. We only really need 1 fortress, 1 castle or something. And as you can see here, that's a big part of this game right here. Is that we have cities and we have castles. Castles is where military units will be built. Cities are primarily, well, you can build military units there, and sometimes there are some really great unique units that come out of cities. The Russians especially have some. It's typically cities, economy, castles, fortresses. building much better units, knights, etc. So we will want Riga as a city first, because we want that sweet, sweet money, as we saw from the original quote in the beginning. What you need, the 3 things you need to carry on a war: money, money, and more money.
I will make
So
them
it looks
fear
like
you.
we are good for turn 1. We've got
Ready to
our
trade.
merchant here. We will send him. We could send him to trade amber.
Setting up
It's
a
going to
trade
get us
route.
all of 16 florins. He's a mercantile genius, too. That was fantastic. This is literally the best merchant that we can get on turn 2. This was fantastic. So, anyways, let us continue on to turn 3. Give it up for turn 3, everybody! Give it up for turn 3! We can't see anything because we're literally at the edge of the world, so here we are.
These woods provide a perfect
So we have an
ambush
offer
site,
for
Lord.
a princess to be married. We won't do this because then we'll lose our 1 diplomat. No, we're not doing that. And because then now we get missions. We'll have these missions throughout the game, and basically this one is just sort of going to Poland. We will get 500 florins just for going to Poland. Man, I wish I would get $500 just for going to Poland. That'd be great. If anybody wants to finance that trip and finance Hispanic Patriot travels, our website will be in the description below. But seriously, guys, we thank you for all the support that you've given us. Like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate it. Especially this one right here. We hope you guys have a lot of fun with this one. Let's see. Okay, we have our military forces. We have Novgorod, which is now completely fine. You know, it's no longer about to riot because there's like 200 people only as police. We built land clearances. You can see here, you guys can literally see the map change. We now have farms all throughout Novgorod province. This is great. This is fantastic looking. It's amazing to see your country blossom.
How may I say?
And we've already increased the orthodoxy in
God
Riga
save.
by 5%. Riga is mostly pagan. The Baltic was mostly pagan at this time, colonized
How
by the
may I
Germans,
say?
actually. So the
How
Russians
may
are
I?
colonizing it much earlier.
Orders, my
Maybe we
lord.
don't want to say Russian colonizing, right?
Marching to
But,
battle with
I also
pride,
noticed that
Lord.
we took all of our
We move
archers
onward
over here.
tomorrow.
We should have left an archer
My
and
lord.
not a spearman, but that's fine. You know, we'll make it work. We're ready,
Yes.
like I said, we're mostly going to use our
Yes, Lord.
General's Guard here for the most part against these guys. So, no big deal.
Orders, my lord.
And we probably need an extra spearman over
Yes.
here. We're going to actually send this guy probably over to Smolensk, because we need somebody to garrison that town, and I don't want it to be a military unit.
Of course. Yes.
Although all we have is spear
Your
militia,
will
so never
shall
mind.
be obeyed.
But, you know, like I said, we'll
My
have
lord.
another one here. That should
Moving
be
to
just fine.
engage.
See how it
Sire.
goes. Okay, our spy may or may not be murdered on his way
Moving
into here in
quietly
Smolensk. As you can see here, we
until
have a
morning,
chance for success
Lord.
here. We can't even reach it anyways right now. But basically,
Continue on tomorrow.
one of two things will happen. Either our spy will succeed and get in, and he will increase his traits and become a better spy, or he will die immediately, and we have no way to recruit new spies right now. So you really have to be careful with what you got while you got
What
it.
do you require
That's
of
a
me?
lesson that Russia, again, could have really
Yes.
learned at some point. couldn't they
Continuing
have?
tomorrow.
Ready
Alright.
to trade.
So we're gonna have to keep moving this guy along.
On my way.
We like the money, but
Tomorrow's
we need to
journey
keep him.
awaits.
There's more money
Ready
to be
to
made.
trade.
Basically, how the trade system works
Ready
is
to trade.
any resource you have nearby is not going to be worth very much. Any resource you don't have that's far away, like gold, so there's gold mines here in Bosnia, for example. Getting our spy there, our merchant rather there,
Ready to trade.
to the silver in Poland, wherever have you, that's going to earn a lot more money. So we
Ready to
definitely want
trade.
that over just trading our local amber. So everything looks good here. We are going to continue. Oh no,
An
wait a
order.
minute. Now that
Yes,
would have been
Lord.
terrible if I ended the term before
Yes.
besieging Smolensk. That
Your
would've
will shall be obeyed. Leave your mercy behind, men. We shall show them none.
Yes, set siege to Smolensk. It's surrounded by
Once we breach
swamps,
the
as you can
walls,
see.
they are finished. We await your orders, my
One
lord.
big, large army will be here. One
Reinforced.
big, beautiful army will be here. And, let's see.
We
So
march
this is a
to our
siege.
enemy's
When you
doom.
move your troops on the campaign map to an area like this, you have to set the area to siege. And this is what we're doing. to capture the towns. If you have spies in there beforehand, they can sometimes open the gates for you. We obviously cannot count on this. So this right here is called a Motte and Bailey. It is a a wooden castle that Motte and Bailey as well. This is applying to. Their walls can be broken down by rams.
You should fear us coming,
so while
my
we can
enemy!
build siege towers, it's not going to really be worth much. We're going to want these rams because they can literally knock down the walls of the wooden castle. So we can build 3 of them, and that's all we should need. So by next turn, we will take Smolensk and move on to Kyiv.
Do it, Lord.
Which, as you can see, will only take a few more turns from
Until
there.
morning, Lord.
Alright, turn 4, everybody. Turn 4. Turn 4. Still can't see anybody. Still getting... you know, I don't know. I don't want Damislav from Suja or whatever. You know, I thought that place was being bombed right now. Occupied by the Ukrainians, actually. Alright, let's
Ready
continue
to
on.
trade.
How much money will be earned here?
Yes,
24. So
I
as you can
shall
see,
trade this
even being
resource.
just outside
Ready to trade.
our territory, much more money. And you also get less money when you have when you're trading in enemy provinces, and all rebel provinces are technically considered enemy provinces. You're constantly at war with rebels. Rebels in this game kind of represent factions that couldn't be large enough to fit into the main game to be played. So that's kind of what's going on there. If anyone's curious about that at this point.
On my way.
I want to make sure this guy is still in. Radislav is still in. Yeah, we don't want to be putting Orthodoxy in places we don't plan on conquering. That would be a waste. But no, he is in just the edge of Prussia, actually, my maternal family's historic homeland. But so we are going to
Yes, Lord.
besiege Riga.
Yes,
Besiege it.
Lord.
We don't need
Confronting
to build any
the
siege
enemy.
equipment because there's literally no
Yes.
walls at all.
Surrounding and
the settlement has enough
besieging
food
the settlement.
The last 2 turns. Right now,
The
it has
siege is ongoing,
crossbows,
my lord.
peasants, and woodsmen, and spearmen. That's what we got here. These spearmen, however, do not get bonuses against cavalry, which that's going to be important later on. So we might just go ahead and try to take Riga right here. We might just do that. We have the ability to. We have some rebels over here. That's quite unfortunate. Rebels do just show up randomly. It represents like the medieval times rebellions and all this stuff going on. So we will have to deal with that at some point. Our generals can actually build... You can't see it now.
Your
we can build
will
forts
shall
and
be
watchtowers.
obeyed.
Those watchtowers are going to be a huge help keeping track of our kingdom. But for right now, folks,
Sire.
let us continue on.
I will make them fear you.
As you can see, we
march to our enemy's doom.
have our rams.
We await your order.
Yes.
We have everything we
Moving
need.
into position. Continuing on tomorrow.
But yeah, we have the ability to, now we're going to fight 2 battles, folks. 2 battles. It's going to be great. We're going to win. It's going to be great. You're going to be tired of winning. We are going to get tired of winning. But we're going to win more. All right, everybody. So let's see Riga first. Let's do a battle that's a little bit less intense.
Yes, Lord.
We don't need any
Confronting the
our
enemy.
economy that way. Before
The
I forget,
siege is
though, let
ongoing,
us,
my lord.
Build something here in Novgorod.
Marching to battle with pride, Lord. Shall we assault now, my lord?
But that's
yes,
why we
Lord.
want to take Riga first. We want to make
Yes,
sure
Lord.
that we have
Confronting
that
the
economy.
enemy.
Here's the battle screen, folks. You are about to see our first battle. We are more or less evenly numbered. 564 men versus 541. But again, their units a lot weaker than ours. Mostly because we have our Grand Prince's bodyguards. So let us get to war.
We have chosen the field. Now, let the battle begin.
Let us hear our great and noble speech.
Stand to! Look to your arms! Remember the brutalities that our enemies do! Think what they may do to your wives and children! Then, strike them down!
Orc is back on the menu, boys! That is the motivation, man. You go to war for what's behind you, not for what you're taking in front of you.
Units!
Alright, folks, let's do it. Here we are. First battle of Hispanic Patriot plays. So we're going to get our archers into position. We're going to leave them in skirmish mode. Skirmish mode means they run away. And we're going to have our melee for the real killers behind over here. Let's get to war. Alright, folks, I'm very excited to bring you this first battle, guys. First we're going to do is we're going to use our advantage in archers. Send up the archers is what the first thing we're going to do. We're gonna have our spearmen behind them, covering them at all times. But what I want my cavalry to do here is I want them to swing around the village while our enemy is presumably distracted by... And remember, this is on very hard difficulty, so this should be the hardest battle that we can have. Looks like our archers are not in a position where they can reach the enemy, unfortunately. We're gonna try to fast forward as fast as possible through all of the maneuvering for you guys. We want our units tight to each other right now. Again, as far as I remember, they only have that crossbow unit for their melee, for their ranged. Okay, they're moving into position right now. It looks like our men here are being targeted. We're gonna move them into loose formation and begin hitting them with everything we got. It looks like they see what we're doing, though. But they really can't do anything about it, and they are deciding to reload. Getting shot in the back over here, as you can see. It looks like they're going to shoot at our Crown Prince. But it is too late! So we did lose some units of our best units here, but that's quite alright. The best thing about cavalry is you can run them away. Our archers are running away from the enemy as they approach. We'll take them out of skirmish mode just for right now. They are presenting such a massive target, which means I think it's time for some fire arrows! It should be said right now, as a historian, I must say, fire arrows never existed, did not exist, for a lot of reasons. I recommend the channel Lindy Beige for a bunch of topics like that. The impossibilities of cool history. It looks like they're trying to do something about our archers, but it's not working very well. Looks like our crown prince. We hope not. Our crown prince has engaged. These woodsmen actually have armor bonuses, so we definitely want to steer clear of them somewhat, as best we can. This back and forth fighting that we have here is probably the best we can do right now, simply because, again, we are facing even odds. You know, we really can't fight a fair, open battle right here. We have to utilize the fact that we have more archers than they do. Always play to your strengths. Like Russia, using a small amount of forces to take a capital city, rather than the mass of their manpower in order to take over a country. I guess Vladimir Putin thought he was playing on King of the Hill mode, you know? Alright, looks like all of us, we need to start firing at the crossbow militia. That's gonna do the best. What's great is that our archers right now are in no way even remotely out of the fight. So we should see a charge here. If you're far enough from the enemy when you charge the cavalry, we should get a charge bonus. Looks like we might have got it. When you do this with medieval, like, Western knights, they actually, like, couch their lances. Couching their lances. Maybe if I speak Russian accent, my words not trip up so much. I do sound more coherent. Maybe I should speak in that accent.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Right now, we just broke their anti-armor forces, completely wiped them out, and they're not going to have much left here. We have basically won this battle here. Okay, the enemy spear militia is back. As you can see, their captain, their general, their guy right now. You see him there. He is retreating again. Okay, they have nothing left. We can now completely go in. And right now, I'm not even worried about their units right now. Their best unit is their spear militia. They're engaging us right now. They're engaging us at the front. We can now hit them from the back and eliminate their ranged units. And we need to, because those crossbows... Ah, very nice! We've killed their general.
Slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will.
Sorry, Tomas. Weird, he sounds Polish. For Lithuanian or something. Or a Estonian or Latvian. By the way, big shout out to the Estonians and Latvians. You guys are doing so much great work. Estonia and Latvia is like some of the only countries meeting NATO standards, and they are small countries. So, if anybody has a reason not to be fulfilling those goals, it's these small countries, and yet they are doing so more than anybody. That's amazing. Let's find our general here. We need to get him out of here. We might leave the rest of the fight to the infantry, since it's just peasants at this point. I mean, they're running, yeah, the peasants are running towards my knights, so this might not be the smartest move for them. You see, like, yeah, let's get, no, let's run away! With their pitchforks and torches, presumably. You know, people who think that wars are funded by the CIA are the kind of people that think that riots are funded by the torch and pitchfork company. You know what I mean? Like, and again, we'll get into that. Probably when we get closer to Kyiv. Right now, we're just enjoying the slaughter of peasants right now, as it is. Our great grand prince at the front, bro, with his bloody sword.
Praise the saints. Our men
Don't you guys miss when our leaders used to have to do that? You know, go out in blood and fire and defend the kingdom themselves instead of... Oh, dang. We just saw that peasant just kill that knight right there. Dang. Yeah, well, I mean, like when you see a Molotov cocktail take out a Russian tank, you know, which we saw in Mariupol a couple times. All right, they're down to 4. There they are. Did you see that one just kind of walk to get stabbed by, like, maybe he was going to pretend to be one of them. Yeah, we're cheering, we're great, you see them. Slava Nazim, which means glory to the nation, for anyone who's curious. That was great, guys. 79 casualties for wiping out their entire force, barely outnumbering them. We did great, guys. Riga is ours, and our army remains intact. I will kill thee 150 ways, Shakespeare said in As You Like It, Volume 1. As You Like It is probably like one of the least known Shakespeare classics, but it's pretty good, honestly. Looks like our guys got 3 different traits and a retinue expansion. That's
their doom has befallen them.
So when you take a city, you have a couple of choices of what to do with it. Exterminate is pretty obvious. We definitely don't need to do that with a small city like this. Sacking, there's still loss of city population, but you get a little money right up front. Occupy, I want to do that here because it's a small village, and I want the city to become upgraded more over time. So we're gonna, but also cities are a little bit harder to control, unfortunately. So part of me wants to sack the settlement, unfortunately. I really don't want to do that for all of our Baltic friends. But unfortunately, because this is a frontier area and we need to get it under our control a little bit more, eliminating that population will allow the settlement to be controlled easier. Again, video games sometimes have a difficult time, a hard time, because they have to show you why bad things happened in our history as human beings. And this is kind of it. So we are going to sack Riga, unfortunately. We're so sorry, Baltic folks. We you know, hopefully it was just 166 bad people. Just all the criminals and bad people that eliminated in that sack is what we will pretend that had happened. So it's not like it really did much, because the population you need is 2,000 in order to get to where you need to upgrade it. So we're not getting there for a while with this village anyways. I don't see a lot of point in reducing its population to tax it more. It's only getting us a little bit of money, and we already got that extra about 150 from the sack. So we're going to leave that be. You know, get sacked but low taxes. You know, I guess that's...
My lord. Yes.
That's a trade-off.
Orders, my king.
Actually, the city will be completely fine, even if we do just leave it completely alone, and will not increase or decrease in population otherwise. Let's see what we got here. So, aspiring commander, Prince Vladimir got 2 in command, winning first plus dread. When was I winning first? Did I do something, you know, dreadful? And veteran warrior, so increased security. We have a lot of command power for Prince Vladimir right here.
Your will shall be obeyed.
6 command power. I mean, his dad...
An order!
He's literally just as powerful a commander as his dad now.
Your
so
will
that's
shall be
fantastic.
obeyed!
Look at that. Look at that, Vladimir. Look at that. You are doing great. Great work for Ukrainian state, for Russian state. Very nice.
We shall not relent, ever!
Alright, so let's get back to the main front here. Smolensk, we have to march to Kyiv. Yeah, this little Baltic excursion was great, but we need to... I love how we just kind of conquered the Baltic as kind of an afterthought. We're gonna do the same to Finland.
We shall not relent, ever!
Again, shout out to
Leave
Finland.
your mercy
We love
behind,
Finland.
men.
We love
we shall show them
our people
none.
from the Baltic. But right now, it'd be great to have you in our empire.
I will make them
Thank you again for joining NATO, by the way. So here we are in Smolensk. Now we have a siege battle. We'll show you guys how that is. And I've really been, you know, I haven't really been able to expound upon some of the topical stuff we've been able to. We've been having so much fun, enjoying the game and everything. We will get to a little bit more of that when we get to Kyiv. But
You
here,
should fear us coming, my
Smolensk
enemy!
must come first. So we got Captain Victor facing off. This is really outnumbered. Like, we very, very, very likely to win this battle. Just Archer Militia and Spear Militia. I think you guys know what we're gonna do here.
If the enemy show you mercy in battle, do not return it!
There you go, guys. The sinews of war are not gold, but good soldiers. So what Niccolo Machiavelli is trying to say here is you might spend money in war, but the combat experience, the war experience that you have in good soldiers, that's something that you could build an empire upon. Countries have money. The most dingbat, underdeveloped countries, backwards nations have money. It's good soldiers that make a great nation. And as we can see, Russia is losing a lot of its soldiers, even according to Donald Trump, and Ukraine is retaining a lot of them.
Gathered. Not real men, are they? There must be a lot of disappointed women at home. To
A lot of disappointed Russian women and disappointed in their men's. Perish the thought. Yeah, for anyone who thinks that Russian culture is really traditional or something, it's really not. Like, Russia has a very feminine culture, honestly. Feminist culture, I'd say. Maybe not feminine at all, actually, but definitely a feminist culture. Women have a lot of power in Russia. So here we have we're going to organize by our units. I'm going to have the archers be the rams, and I was also mistaken. Apparently, with wooden castles, you do have walls. But that doesn't matter, because we have so much archers that it should not matter. So many archers that we should be able to knock them off the walls. They barely have any archers at all. So we're just going to rely on our archer militia here and get to work. We send all the rams at once, just in case any of them get set on fire. Okay, this doesn't look like that they want to stay on the walls, so this is great for us. We're going to throw our Cossacks over. Their towers are, as you can see, their towers fire arrows. So if any of those hit our rams too much, they will get set on fire. So I actually want our archers to be picking off their spear militia, and the reason for that is as long as we kill off those guys, we instantly have access to fort. Like, all they have is archers left. We can wipe them out with any of our units, and I'm going to keep our melee units back. Something about the General's Bodyguard units, they recover over time. You don't need to recruit them, you don't need to retrain them. They're just there with you the entire time. So, constantly getting replenished. So, that's what we're going to do here. That's what we're going to rely on. Okay, their archers are now shooting at us. And they have their archer militia here. We're going to drop these rams for a moment and start shooting back. Because now they're close enough to the walls. We've already got our ram to the walls. As long as we can get down their gates and kill off their spear militia, we're golden.
The battering ram is in place. Soon the enemy's defenses will fall.
We haven't lost a lot of our Cossacks yet, and as you can see, they're doing this. This is called the circle and shoot. There's a number of names for this. Tactic in history. But it is what we're using right now. It is what we're going to do to avoid getting shot at ourselves with all of their missile units they have. Check on the progress of our rams. It's almost knocked down, so... And there we are! The walls, the gates are down! Two of our spear units over here and start shooting them point blank, basically. So these guys are breaking up in formation again because of the arrow fire. That is really not going to be good for them as our cavalry charger. They're actually retreating right now from the entire situation, so... We might not even need... We definitely need to take down their archers on the walls. Beyond that, they're not doing so great. We're going to send our archers back here. They've taken enough casualties. They've done enough. And now our general's bodyguard will do great work in slicing them to bits.
Our soldier. The battle is very much in our favor.
It looks like these archers are actually retreating. They tried to get off the walls. Didn't work out so well. If this was a human player playing this, that would have been a huge mistake. But right now, it's just... We can just blame it on the AI, right? Anybody who thinks that AI is going to take over the world, play a game like this. You'll be swiftly cured of your belief in the supremacy of AI. Trust me. Especially on less than difficult difficulties.
General flees like the coward he is.
Very nice, very nice.
Break this spirit. Only half the enemy force remains.
We'll easily be able to.
The enemy army runs.
So
we
just win the battle, guys.
Hunt them down. All civilized peoples will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
We took more losses here, but we were assaulting a castle through a single slit. You know, there's a lot of better ways to do this, probably. Mostly to build a siege tower, basically as sort of a suppression action, you know, that put some men on the walls to stop firing arrows at us. But guys, this was a great victory. We barely lost any of our melee troops. When we get to Kyiv, we will easily be able to take it. Very, very nice, everybody. Only about 150 casualties. So when you make all of your enemy units rout in a battle, that's why I kind of encourage you not to exclusively spread out your units in a siege battle like this. You just lose the battle. So that was fantastic. That was a great exploit that we didn't have to kill everybody in the city.
Us now.
And we will gain a lot of money from sacking Smolensk, as you can see here. So, and the Devil's Number from exterminating it. So we won't do that. Part of me wants to occupy this city more, because Smolensk here is going to be our main city. So 400 is a lot. I'd actually rather have the population rather than the money. So we are going to just occupy Smolensk. It is the prince's own... fair and rule when we take a castle for Yaroslav over here, but... Oh, Yaroslav over here, but not... But so I guess what they're saying is... do whatever you want to Baltics, but, you know, the Russians, I guess you're noble if you're noble to them. I have no idea what's going on here. Sometimes the traits in this game, honestly, are just kind of baffling, like why you get them when you get them.
Orders, my king.
Just ignore them. It's these traits right here, they're gonna be filled up with terrible things, like that you can't do anything about. Like this Sanguinary right here, can't wait to see his foe's blood stain his own tabard in battle. Can't do anything about that. Social drinker. can't do anything. That's going to become drunk eventually. I mean, it's Russia, so I guess it's applicable. It's fitting. But you guys see sort of the general contours of it. We're going to build dirt roads, but after that, we will be able to upgrade to a castle right away because we did not massacre any amount of the population. We could have and still built all of this stuff, but population, again, is how you get upgraded settlements. So the fact that we have this castle, it'll allow us to build more and better units, and that is exactly what we want. One of which we can build right now, the Boyar's Sons. These guys are great. They have javelins. They are good against armor. They have good stamina. They are the sons of poor Boyars. Boyars being the nobles of the Russian Empire, of the various Rurikid states that have shown up in our history. And we will be able to recruit one and also get some of our Kazakhs back. 5 of them back. That'll be great. So we have a great basis here for the future.
We shall not relent, ever!
In Smolensk.
My lord.
We'll stay here for 1 turn.
Making camp here.
Looks like this unit won't
Orders,
get there
my king.
for 3 turns. We probably should have just left it back
My lord.
somewhere else. But it will help defend Smolensk in the time being, and we probably need more than 1 unit with them anyways.
Yes.
So we will be fine with that. The archers is really what we need
Orders,
to help
my
out
king.
right now. As you can see,
My
we
lord.
can move units to overcome losses, but you typically want to keep them as best you can and retrain them. It'll keep your experience the same. But that is great. That means we literally can just leave, as far as I can see,
Move out.
1 15-man unit
Yes.
here with the Kazakhs.
Men,
Wait for
march.
the guys to come back. And horse cavalry units, they are... redundant sentence, but cavalry units, they move faster than just infantry
Yes,
units,
Lord.
as you can see here.
Yes.
I could move my units
Yes.
with horses faster than with the...
Yes, Lord.
just on foot.
Orders, my king.
So we will be able
Yes.
to... 2 more units of cavalry come with us.
Yes,
That'll be
Lord.
great.
Sire,
Start them
Orders,
moving in
my
the
lord.
direction of Kyiv. We'll
Forward!
be there in a couple turns.
Making camp here, Lord.
So we got fair in rule again, so that was actually kind of counterproductive. 'Cause
Yes,
you want to
Lord.
either have chivalry or
An order.
dread. You really, I mean, but again, trying to actually control this, don't bother with that headache. Just make your
Yes.
empire strong, not your personalities. Another lesson that Russia should really learn. What's kind of funny is that when you build roads, you also build bridges. Again, so many lessons. So, we are no longer the richest faction anymore. Hungary is now the richest faction. That's totally fine. We'll get there, we'll get there. We're building a port in Novgorod, farmland in Riga. I'm really concerned about Riga, actually, because it'll be underdeveloped for quite a time. So I'm going to actually lower the taxes. Lower the taxes, increase your population. Amazing how your people have more money, they have more kids. You know, I wonder what's going on with millennials and younger people these days, that we're not having kids as much, and that Social Security is going to get
Orders, my
defaulted
king.
within a short time.
Orders, my king.
So
Move
now
out.
our forces here will be able to get there
My lord.
faster, and we'll
Orders,
be able
my
to get down
lord.
to Kiev faster
Yes.
as well.
moving
We can
quietly.
now see here.
No further today, my lord.
Very, very
Sire.
nice. We will
Yes.
be there within a couple of turns now.
Marching to battle with pride, Lord.
Send these cavalry
Of
guys
course.
to join,
Forward.
and we will
Yes.
have a good force
Yes.
to take on Kiev, which has a huge garrison, as we can see. We might have to besiege it for a little bit longer. We'll have to see what we can do here.
I will make them fear you.
From the Crown Prince's army
We
over
march to our
there.
enemy's
I'm wondering
battle
if we
will
should take
resolve.
out these
Resting
rebels
the troops
before
here.
we do that, though. What do you guys think? Do we think we should take out rebels or conquer more territory for it?
An order.
Take territory that we can't possibly hold on to, or deal with domestic problems at home. Again, another long-standing Russian question.
God's servant.
So
On
it's
my
good
way.
that we're increasing our religion here. That's going to increase our public order, as you can see. Also, apparently, it was good to have fear in public order. It means that very much so we'll be able to control this province longer. Religious unrest, a huge reason for lack of public order in medieval times.
My lord.
So, now that we have a little
Orders,
bit of
my
time,
lord.
you know, let's talk a little
An
bit
honor,
about
my lord.
why is it that these
With
terms that
pleasure.
I'm using. Okay, here's Vilnius here. Huge garrison. Like, my goodness, this is a mighty garrison. This represents the Kingdom of Lithuania. As I said, rebels,
Traveling.
typically representing factions
Continuing
that
tomorrow.
weren't large enough or
I shall ride on
strong
tomorrow,
enough
my
or
lord.
whatever have you to deserve their own faction. But there is DLCs that we might have fun with. that do some of that. Lithuania is one of them. So why does this confusion keep happening? Why do we keep saying Russian, Ukrainian, Ukrainian? I keep saying Russia when I say Ukraine. You know, this is kind of a confusing point. Why is this that these terms seem to be all over the place? Well, the main crux I can get at it is, what country do you know Germany as in your language, in your historic origin language? It's probably not Germany. It's probably some other name. So we have to understand that names of countries change over time and with different people looking at them. So Ukraine is the name of the modern nation-state that now exists within this territory right here. This province here, Kyiv province, is actually very close to Ukrainian historic territory. This area was the heart of Russia. Ukraine is actually where Russia was born. The name Russia, where we understand it, the whole mythology and culture of Russia started here in Kyiv. It did not start here in Moscow. How I've heard it explained is, we all know that Rome was the city of the Roman Empire. That was Rome. Like Russia, it's an overarching imperial country. Like Rome is not Italy. Why? It'd be like saying, well, of course the Italians are not the Romans because they're called Italy today. That would be the kind of level of ignorance to say Ukraine is not the origin of the Russic people, just because they're not called that today. Today, the country known as Russia existed at a time where the land of Ukraine, this whole mythology and basis foundation for an empire, it was in the decline. It was like in the fall of the Roman Empire. That didn't mean the people weren't there, and that didn't mean that the history had suddenly gone away. You had this much more powerful state that emerged here, and it was a government, not so much a culture, it was a government. Moscow was just one of the many princes. And they came along at a time where there was a fall in economic prosperity, which is why the trade-driven Novgorod fell into decline, and the Mongols had destroyed Kyiv, the mother of cities. It was the greatest city, so it was destroyed and sacked. Moscow was sort of on the periphery. It was able to survive a lot of this, and when its government, its state, conquered a lot of this stuff that you're seeing now, it needed a reason to justify ruling over these conquered people. And how it justified it was returning to a glorious past. It would be similar as if, let's say, England won the 100 Years' War and took over France and then conquered Italy. And then Britain all of a sudden claims, well, we were Britannia. We were an outpost of the Roman Empire. We are rechanging the name to Londinium and calling ourselves Romans because we were part of the Roman Empire. Now, that sounds silly to many of you listening until you learn that Greek-speaking Greek people did the exact same thing, calling themselves Romans, and we're actually going to be interacting with them. They're live right here. Here's Constantinople. Those people called themselves Romans, despite just being a part of their empire. So the fact that Moscow would do this is not. There's understandability to it as to why they did so, but we have to understand that what it is an imperialist narrative. Russia today has no real connection. The multicultural Russian Federation has no real connection to the Kievan Rus that we are presently playing as. Their territory primarily existed, as you can see, in Belarus and Ukraine, not Russia. And this area, a lot of this area over here, used to be populated by Finnish people. So what we know as Russia today, and what I keep saying Russia, we are Russian here, it means something totally different than it does 1,000 years from now, as we are in 1088. That's the year we're in right now, is 1088. 1,000 years from now, Russian, or 900 years from now in the game, being Russian means something totally different. So totally glad to get that out of the way and discussing. We'll discuss more about that as we go along. Let us continue to trade amber and try our best to talk to Poland. Going a little bit slow. I guess that's why they gave us some time to do it, but gosh darn it, do we not have a lot of time to do this, actually.
An honor, my lord.
I really hope we run into, anything
Continuing
Polish,
tomorrow.
there's no way that we're going to get over here
Your
in just
Majesty.
3 turns.
I shall ride on tomorrow, my lord.
Maybe,
Continuing
but
tomorrow.
I doubt it. Very much doubt it. Sidor of Pole. Well, no, we're not trying to marry Poles. We're trying to engage in diplomacy.
An honor,
with Poles.
my lord.
I understand. People get those
With
confused
pleasure.
sometimes. I totally understand. Alright, we got a port built. Our economy is going to be improving now. This is going to be great. This is what we need. Definitely need this economy to be improving because money is going to be our biggest problem going forward. As you can see, our income is surpassing our expenses. Amazing how a video game can teach you that you need to make sure that your income goes more than your expenses, otherwise you go bankrupt. I guess we don't have a national banking institution. We don't have international banking cartels to borrow money off of, so we have to, like, manage our own money. So Riga is just going to be developing from here on out. I'm going to put this guy over here just to make sure that if we see any armies coming up from Germany or Poland, that we will see them before and we can react to them.
We shall not relent, ever!
So I am going to take down Finland.
Leave
here
your mercy behind,
instead of
men!
dealing with the
We
rebels
shall
for
show them
the
none!
time.
We march tomorrow!
As far as I can see, we still don't really need crossbow militia.
I look
We're
forward
not fighting
to fighting
any armored
you.
units, so we should be fine with that. Let's see what we can build here. But communal farming maybe. Although we don't actually want the population to rise too heavily before we can build buildings that increase public order. Otherwise, we'll have to spend a lot of money on military forces. So that's another thing. Just because you're rich and powerful, you do still need the essence of government, entertainment, and religion, along with just the hard force of police. You need cultural and political government forces. You need all of this to work together, not against each other. So we're going to build something, hopefully, that... we're going to build a market. Let's do that. Because I can increase tradable goods. We're not actually... Trade is not really what we're doing, but Novgorod definitely is. So usually you don't want to do this. You want to build up farming first. You want to actually... we're actually going to move our capital, is sort of where I'm getting at. So all of our great public order that we have here, it's not going to be permanent. That's what I'm thinking of in the future.
Yes.
Okay, we have a unit coming to Smolensk. Now it's completely under public order. Everything's fine. Everybody's happy there. Nobody wants to burn things and I don't know, burn down Wendy's for George Floyd. Nobody wants to do that here, which is great.
Moving into position. Very good, Lord.
Oh, we got a Polish cardinal here. We can't do diplomacy with him, though, unfortunately.
Orders, my lord.
All right, one turn to Kyiv, folks.
Yes.
My lord. Forward. Making camp here.
Yes, lord.
Around here. Let's see. I'm going to build another spear militia, another archer militia, because we're going to have to move our forces out of this spot. I would build a ship in order to transport, but I'm not going to build a ship just to transport from Finland to here. That doesn't justify creating a navy. And creating a navy is very expensive in this game. If anyone wondered why you don't see a lot of permanent standing navies in medieval times, it's really expensive. A lot of times when you see things that weren't
ready to trade
around in medieval times, that's typically the reason. It was just expensive.
On my way. I shall.
Your Majesty.
Okay, our merchant is
ready to trade.
Trudging along towards the silver and gold mines over here. And, alright, let's next turn to Kyiv.
Your will shall be
Helsinki. Polish army is showing up here. It's really good
Let's leave
that we were able to come here. I mean, imagine
Orders,
that.
my
Our
lord.
entire playthrough could
Marching
have
to
gone
battle
very
with
differently.
pride, lord. Besieging settlement.
All right, so let's do this here. We're gonna build these two things at a time.
The
Up to 3
siege.
turns.
Yes.
Let's see that.
Move
We
out.
could take on this
I have
Polish
not
army here. It's nothing but
consented to
shooters.
Sire,
It looks
do
like
not
shooters
count
or like
you as enemy.
crossbowmen. Actually, Polish nobles. Dang, this army is actually not that bad to start off with, to be honest. So that's certainly something. All right, so luckily we got to Kyiv before the Poles did.
sire.
What is this,
Good
1920? I mean, this doesn't really feel like medieval times anymore.
Your
But at least we'll
Majesty.
be able to negotiate with the Poles
Is
now.
there
That's
something
great.
I can do for you?
Let's negotiate trade rights and map information. So basically, we'll be able to see each other on the map, and we'll be able to make money from each other.
Your plan seems balanced enough to me. That is
Very
all.
nice, very nice. And we increased.
Farewell.
Now Antonia has delicate diplomat. Great, great, great. We now have a more impressive princess. That's always good. And we got 500 florins from our Council of Nobles from which succeeded in this mission. Very, very, very nice. Let's go to Hungary next.
Will I be a part of a
Now we
proposition?
see everything that Poland sees. That should
Ready to
include
trade.
their resources, which, yes, if we go here to the Polish silver mines,
Continuing
we will
on.
be gaining 76
Tomorrow's journey
florins, which is
awaits.
not great, but it is something, and it all adds up. We got markets in Novgorod, castle at Smolensk.
I will make them fear you. We march to our orders, my lord.
And we've got this build-up
Yes,
here
lord. Confronting the enemy.
in Kyiv, against Kyiv here. To retake
Shall we
our
assault
ancestral
now, my
Russic homeland. Ah, yes. The mother of cities will once again be in the hands of the sons of Ruakid again. Let's begin. Let's
Yes,
build
Lord.
up those siege equipments. Let's retake our ancestral lands. I don't know why our relations worsen with Poland despite increasing our economic opportunities together. What is this? EU talks? Like, for what it's worth, Polish farmers were very angry that Ukrainian grain was going to come over into Poland from
Ready to trade.
Ukraine,
Yes, my lord.
which seems like the least of everybody's problems
What
at that
do you
point.
require
but-
of me? Yes.
So I guess, yeah, trading with Poland makes them angry at you. It does not make them...
We shall not
I
relent
guess.
ever. Leave your mercy
I like
behind,
trade.
men.
I'd be
We
fine
shall
with
show them
trading,
none.
but-
Their fate is sealed, my
Alright, so
lord.
in Helsinki,
They are
we got some
besieged.
crossbow militias.
We await your order to move in.
Alright, Vladimir, calm
An
down.
order. We march to our enemy's doom.
Let's send some
We
more,
await your order to move in.
more units here. It'll be worth it.
Orders, my king.
Three turns until it,
We shall not
three
relent
turns
ever.
until the siege ends. Which is about how
Your
long it'll
will
take
shall
these
be
units to get
obeyed.
here in the first place.
Orders, my king.
So I think we're just
I
gonna
will
make do
make
with the
them
units that we
fear
have.
you.
I think we'll be fine. Smolensk is now a castle. Look at that beautiful castle. Much better with all the wood. So let's see. What can we build here? So everything here, you basically build up your cities, and that allows you to upgrade other buildings until you get like the best units you can. And we'll be seeing that it's a wonderful progression. It's very fun. It's great to see the fruits of your labors as it goes through, as you see your units become better over time. So we're gonna go eventually for spearmen. We want spearmen. We want to get rid of these militia. We want to have strong defensive units. So that's only possible with a drill square here, and that's only possible if we start out with a mustering hall. So the ketchuping hall is probably down the road a little bit, but that is what we will start to build. In about 6 turns, we will be able to build up those spearmen. Again, always got to be thinking long term. Always got to be thinking long term in strategy. But you can imagine what playing games like this from the age of, I don't know, like 10 for me, maybe even younger.
Orders, my lord.
If anyone's ever wondered
Marching
about
to
any
battle with
eccentricities in my
pride,
personality
lord.
and strategic thinking constantly, it's
The
mostly stuff
siege
like
is
this.
ongoing, my lord.
Oh, very nice. We can hire Alans. Alans are great. These are great mercenary light cavalry. We don't have a lot of light cavalry right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and take those units. Thank you very much. Alans are great. Over here we have Druzhina and Boyar's sons. So we have better cavalry over here. Definitely want more of those Boyar's sons as we go up. But for right now, we don't need any more. We
Yes,
are still besieging over
Yes,
here.
Lord.
We'll be
Confronting
besieging
the
for
enemy.
one more turn until
Yes.
we have all of our siege equipment.
Marching to battle with pride, lord.
Same.
Your will
So it
shall
looks
be
like we will
obeyed.
end the turn from here.
How may I serve?
We will continue
Your Majesty.
on. Everybody's marching to Poland
Ready to trade.
for various benefits. Like a caravan of Syrian migrants coming from the Belarusian government. For what it's worth, yeah, anybody who doesn't know, I think the number was 15 FSB agents, Russian agents, have been caught over the last, I think it was 8 to 10 years, trying to sneak over the Mexican border. The Mexican border. So anywhere you see migrant crises happening, you will see the finger of Vladimir Putin's Russia. So let us continue to honor the true Rus, the true Ukrainian Rus, of which I'd be happy if that term could come into effect as the way people refer to this history, because literally, it is so confusing to teach people anything about Russian history if you're starting from medieval times and going forward. It's like two entirely different worlds. It really is. Two entirely different countries. Because they are. And if they weren't two countries before, if Russia and Ukraine weren't two countries that were different before, they definitely are now. So let's continue to build up our trade. Shipwrights. Actually, let's go ahead and build paved roads. Paved roads, very much a luxury in the medieval times, but useful for kingdoms and empires with distant borders, and we absolutely have that. So we're going to continue building over here. Garrison headquarters, that'll help us build, reinforce our woodsmen. So we are slowly going to be able to restore the army that we literally couldn't undo the damage of previously if it was damaged. So that's kind of cool.
I will make them fear you.
Here. We are actually outnumbered.
We march to our enemies' doom.
And Viking raiders. So we're definitely not going to just be able to use our cavalry for this. We might actually have to just siege them out. We might have to.
Your will shall be obeyed.
I really don't want to hire mercenaries here. It's just going to be a waste of money, and these guys are very expensive. Do not really want to do that. What I might do, in which case, these Dujina and Boyar's sons. I might recruit a Boyar's son in order to reinforce the cavalry
we shall not relent,
of our
ever.
general's bodyguard in the north. So we're going to build two armies, effectively. One kind of domestic, one foreign. So, and
Orders,
that's very much
lord.
something that you learn playing these kind of games,
Lord.
is that you want to build armies that
confronting
are good for
the
both.
enemy.
Yes.
So,
An
maybe we should
honor,
try
my
for an
lord.
alliance with the Poles. Maybe we should try for... Let's try for an
I am
alliance. We're going
sure
backwards
I
for
will
it,
have their
but
full...
let's
You
do
have
so.
something to discuss with us?
Looks like they'll do it.
We have no complaints.
We have
with
an
this
alliance
plan.
with Poland, folks!
We accept. Your
That is
tribe was
fantastic.
most valuable.
You see that? Something you would never see in the modern world. Russia and Poland, alliance announced. But imagine, like, if Russia actually allied with Poland, if Germany allied with Poland, if these countries actually just stopped trying to crush and destroy Poland, if one of them had just seriously made partners out of Poland, our entire western flank is now secure.
What
for
do you
the
require
foreseeable
of
future.
me?
As Russia, as the
Traveling.
Ukrainian Rus right now, we are now protected
Ready to trade.
from the west,
Got some new
as far
Ready
as we
to
know
trade.
permanently. So, shout out to Russia there. You should probably ally with the West, not constantly be spitting in its face. And anyone who says, "Oh, the West, we've given chances for Russia, and we're the ones we're the dastardly West." First of all, if you're a Western Christian and you're constantly talking bad about how bad our own civilization is, maybe you don't feel very connected to our own civilization. Just to put it out there, because as far as we should say, Ukraine is a Western Christian country, and Russia,
Leave your
for the
mercy
most
behind,
part,
men.
is
We
not.
shall show them none.
As we talked about,
We await your order to move in.
the virtues of mercy, Christian virtues, they're not present in modern Russia. They're not present in the Russia of the 1700s onwards, the imperial Russian legacy. It's not Christian. And Peter the Great, fantastic atheist that he was, made sure of that. Made sure that the Russian church is a literal apparatus of the Russian government. These people are not... If they're Christians, they're certainly not the kind of Christians that you or I are, is sort of the point. Certainly not. But,
Yes.
you know, I do believe, though, that
Marching
we
to
are,
battle with
unlike
pride, Lord.
the real Russians, now that we have an alliance with the Poles, they will help us out in this battle with their great units. So, guys, we are ready to take Kyiv, unlike Vladimir Putin. Let's do it.
Form up
We have
lines
them
and do not
outnumbered
break
almost
them.
2-1.
Today, we break
are
the
in
enemy.
charge here. Let us reclaim the mother of cities, Kyiv. I have loved justice and hated inequality, therefore I die in exile. Iniquity, my apologies. I guess the Pope at that time wouldn't be talking much about inequality. That's what's
Any man who
important here.
breaks the line will answer to me, or the whips of the enemy. I will probably be kinder, Now, await
Yep.
your order!
Would you rather be a soldier or a slave? That's usually the question here. But yeah, to conclude, any self-respecting person who claims to be a Western Christian, who is touting Russian propaganda, or is talking about how much better China and Russia is than we are, just go move there, okay? Why are you here squatting in our civilization if you hate it so much, you know? Especially those people, oh, Zelensky's a Jew! You know, if you hate Jews more than you love Jesus, something's really wrong. You're really missing the point completely, if that's your position. So here we have 3 of these siege towers. We're gonna go vaulting over their walls. And partially from spots that they won't be able to get us from as well. Spreading out here. 3 rams, this is good. We have our troops organized, as you remember, guys. Ready for this. As close as they can, they're going to rush forward, and we are going to take this city. Unlike Vladimir Putin. Let's go! They're really having to spread out on the walls for us. The Poles are behind them. Not that they seem to care much. Alright, this is a very well defended city though, guys. This is like real Kyiv territory right here. One of our siege towers is burning. That is really not good. But if they burn our siege tower on the right, they definitely won't be able to besiege or to set our rams on fire. Now that these guys are here, they got the rams forward no matter what. Yep. We'll be able to knock down their gates, and it looks like our siege towers will be able to get
Soon
to
the
their
enemy's
walls.
defenses will fall.
They're already running off the walls, so, and we have not even committed the bulk of our forces yet. Especially our cavalry. Our cavalry, when those walls are coming down,
be praised.
we will.
Our siege towers are at
We
the
will break them down.
Lord
if that
be
happens.
praised. Our siege towers are at the walls.
That's not good.
Our enemy have nowhere to hide.
The enemy has decided to run out from the gates. Let's make them pay for it. Let's try to get the gates. If we can actually push them back, we can take the gates if they've opened them. Our Cossacks are gonna shove our Cossacks through. Gosh, can you imagine fighting like this next to a burning ram like this? Dang. Our spearmen are at the walls. They are taking down these guys here. Alright, we're gonna have to retreat here, it looks like. They really don't want us to get into these walls. See if we're able to actually make a presence on these walls, because we are facing a lot of the enemy. Ram's pretty decently now.
Attack quickly!
It's our last ram, so let's get to it.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue
Although
like
they
this,
just made
we
a
will
serious
smash the
error.
enemy.
They have let our Drugina through. The gates are down. I really was actually quite worried, guys, because they were beating the hell out of our troops on the walls. In fact, our troops on the walls are quite literally retreating right now.
Our soldiers have proved their worth.
It looks
today.
like their
the enemy's walls
stupidity
belong
in
to us
trying
now.
to go through us on the walls. The gates was just a terrible, terrible choice. I mean, oh my goodness. That probably costed them the entire battle. That's going to cost them their city. You can imagine that. Imagine that. You're the guy who decides, hey, we're going to make a series of stupid decisions.
By the grace of God, our men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
It looks like Captain Andrea here is dead. And we are marching directly into the center of the town. Again, guys, I'm gonna be honest, like, you saw me go quiet a little bit there. When I saw us completely die on the walls, like the police unit here, and all that, I thought we were kind of done. But it looks as though not.
My lord, our men are in command of the city. Our men no longer command the city.
We might use these guys over here if they can't do something. But no, I mean, they are retreating now. Like I said, I was very surprised this outcome. When I saw our rams go up in flames,
My lord,
I thought we were done for. I really thought we were done for, but they just let us through the gate. We just keep it open like that. Dang,
Our men are winning the battle.
That is the stuff
if
of
we
medieval
continue
legend
like
right
this,
there,
we will
honestly. Like,
smash
that's the kind of
enemy.
stuff you hear in, like, great
Only
history.
half the enemy force remains.
And we're not even going to lose a single unit. I thought we were going to lose this unit on the walls. But they are not letting anything go. And over here in the center of town, my goodness, like...
The enemy army runs. We must
Everybody ran
pursue.
away.
This is a clear victory.
And the Poles did absolutely nothing. I will say that. We had a Polish allied force there. Did absolutely jack nothing. But we have defeated the enemy, guys. We have taken Kyiv. The Ukrainian Rus have returned to their homeland. We have killed more of them than they've killed of us. Because again, this game will also show you just like how much just slightly outnumbering the enemy is not good enough. It's really not good enough at all. But here, 2-1 even, facing a very strong defense, we were able to get it done. We were able to exploit the fact the enemy wanted to come out and take down our rams, set them on fire, and we held those gates open until our cavalry could drudge through with their heavy armor. That is pure medieval. That is pure medieval history, folks. Pure medieval military history you just saw on display here. Go bid the soldiers shoot. Ah, the sound of victory, is it not?
They deserved nothing less than death.
So this is the mother of cities. We will not sack it. This is our city. We will occupy it, name it to its proper name, build some roads there, tax it heavily because Kyiv is now our new capital. Fantastic, folks. We have retaken Kyiv. Noble in rule, even though winning first, okay. Leaves him still with neutral chivalry. But guys, we have taken Kyiv.
Sire.
We have done the thing that Vladimir Putin could not do. The Rus, the Ukrainian Rus, are now united once again. Everybody is now able to be Ukraine and Russia. For anyone who is interested, we call this Ruthenia. This is the Latin name for this place. This is the name of Ukraine before it became Ukraine. In this, again, the modern nation state coming from two different medieval histories, from the Rus, from the Ruakids, and from a medieval kingdom here It's shown under Poland, but under that time, after the Mongols had destroyed Kyiv, the Ukrainian Rus went to the west at Halachir in what was called Galicia, Volhynia, and from here, the Ukrainians would fight the Mongols to retake their homeland for centuries. And eventually, they would do so under the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. All of this history here is in the future for us, because right now, maybe there's something inkling in our Ukrainian-Russian souls, in our Ukrainian-Rus souls, that we want to do something different, that we want to build Ukraine into the empire that the Russians would later take onto their own. That is what you are going to see here. That is what you are going to enjoy here on Hispanic Patriot Plays Medieval to Total War, the Ukrainian Rus. So, most dear fans of Hispanic Patriot, we Ukrainian Rurid peoples, we thank you for your watching and your viewing. We hoping you are to be subscribing down below with the bell icon, everything like this, so you miss nothing, so you see our premieres. Please tune in next time. We in Hispanic Patriot Plays will be enjoying much medieval time. Mr. President Donald Trump enjoying very much. All of you fans of Hispanic Patriot. Slava Ukraini. And bye-bye, everybody. Thank you very much for joining Hispanic Patriot. We will see you many other times as we continue the legacy, great legacy of Ukrainian Rus. As they say in the land of the sun and the rabbits, adios.